Welcome back to the Crypto Rainn channel. I'm your host, Jay Murph. I wanted to get more in depth on two of my top altcoin picks. I did cover yesterday 5 of the biggest altcoin picks that I have that are on huge sales right now, 80 to 90%. But I did rewatch the video myself and I thought I could have done a better job articulating the value that I see there. So I want to give you more specific information on particularly 2 of them that are some of my favorites out there. So let's go ahead and get this party started. All right, let's get right into it. So Ecomi is one of my top picks. Now, yesterday, the price was as low as 0.12 cents, and it's since gone up. Now, the reason it's gone up is because there's some annoying news. Now, I know it's good news, but when you're looking to buy something extra cheap, you hate it when this stuff happens before you can stock up on even more of it. Now, I shared my position on OMI yesterday, so I'll share it with you again. And I have 4.5 million OMI tokens, and I'm looking to pick up even more. Now, why would I when I have so many OMI tokens? Well, I do believe in it, and that's why I'm sharing it with you. Now, I did bring a bunch of fiat in, and it's in the penalty box before I can then ship it off platform over to where I want to buy the Ecomi token. So I'm waiting while that cooldown happens. Unfortunately for me, because I wanted to buy yesterday when prices were good. However, I will give you some thoughts. See, there is some big news that came out, and we'll talk about that news. But oftentimes, look at this volume increase. That's nice. But even this dip we had the other day, volume was pretty high. And so this news has temporarily pumped it, but oftentimes that's just temporarily because there's often still a lot of sell pressure. A lot of people bought way down here and they're scared because it's returning and they're looking for a good exit time. So they might exit here and they'll still be vastly at profit, like 100x from the bottom. And some bought here and they're really scared because it's right close to what they bought it and they're going to dump. And so some from here will still that bought somewhere in here will still likely dump because they're scared. And so what often happens, not always, is it comes down some more from here. Now, why Ecomi? NFTs haven't been a thing since February and March. If you followed my channel, you know that I've been in the space for 4 years as a crypto investor, but I've been an investor for 20 years. And what's funny about the crypto space is that things kind of run in cycles. So February and March, everybody was talking about NFTs. You couldn't listen to more than, if you listen to 5 shows on YouTube about crypto, probably 4 of them were talking about NFTs. When was the last time you heard NFT? It probably was like 7 or 8 or 9 YouTube episodes ago, right? So it's out of cycle, and that happens. So February and March, NFTs were in cycle. The previous cycle was like September of the previous year, and all the NFT projects really pumped, not all of them, but some of them. And then there was a big retracement because it went out of cycle, and then a massive pump February and March, and then we saw a big retracement. So that's what shares exactly what happened here. On those big retracements, I use those opportunities to look for good deals. And I've been buying Ecomi since it retraced to 7.75 cents, and then some more around 0.5 cents, and then some more at around 0.2 cents. And so I was looking for some really nice pickups around 0.14 cents because that's an amazing price. And I'll share with you why. The market cap right now is at 430 million. This is a project, in my opinion, can easily at least 100x from this, if not more. In fact, it's possible that with the FOMO that comes from a big parabolic move, it could go as much as $100 billion market cap. And so even from today's price, that would be 200x from here. So I am hoping that it comes down some more so I can stock up on some more OMI for cheap. Let's talk about what news pumped it today, and it's some big news. Within the NFT space, it's fair to say Marvel is probably the 2nd largest licensing deal you could land in the whole space. Right? what would be the first largest licensing deal you could land in the whole space? Well, that would be Pokemon, and nobody has that license. Though they already have some connections to the guy who used to run the Pokemon licensing. He now works for Vivi, but he's not the decision maker of the Pokemon licensing anymore. But you know who is? Well, this guy who commented on this news from today, and that's Jeremy Padoweir. And yeah, he said, congratulations to my friends, David, Dan, Al, and team. When I first saw this project almost 3 years ago, it was baffling to me, and I'm a collector and manufacturer of collectibles. They were ahead of their time, and it's truly impressive. Well done at VV Collectible. Now, I don't know if they'll get the license for Pokemon. Pokemon may do their own digital stuff. Who knows? They do have enough money to put together something like that. But if they do just go with an existing project, I can't imagine that anybody has a better position than Vivi does to get that. Now, whether it gets it or not, there's so many things to like about what's going on here. See, they're making so much money. I don't know if it says here. They're what is it? They've made $40 million so far this year from their sales. So they're hugely revenue positive. I think their team, last I heard, only had 15 to 20 people on it. So they are so revenue positive that that's a great thing for their long-term viability. They have enough license deals already, they said, to have releases for the next 2 years. Their releases, even though the market generally has been down, have been selling out instantaneously, especially like their ultra rares and their rares. And there's been a few when they've done huge amounts of them that haven't sold out for a little while, but they're still selling tremendously well. They do have a lot of plans for the future. Now, why are they so cheap with such good technology? I mean, market cap of 430 million, shouldn't they be farther ahead from this? Well, there's one thing that's been massively holding them back, and that's that they're not on very many markets. They're just on BitMax, Gate.io, and Bitforex. And so they're not even paired with like Bitcoin. Except for Gate.io, you got to buy it with USDT pairings on these sites that most people almost never use. The reason is because they decided to build on GoChain, which 3 years ago seemed like a very good decision because GoChain was faster than Ethereum and much, much cheaper. What's holding them back is most of the major exchanges out there don't have a GoChain node, and so it's difficult or expensive for them to add Ecomi. So Ecomi has been working on what it's going to do about this problem, and I don't know the specifics, but they say in the coming months they will change to a different chain. I don't know exactly what chain they're going to. Some of you might know. Particularly, I don't know. I don't follow Ecomi's news every single day, just kind of roughly because it's one of my favorite projects. And so you might find somebody that has the in-depth knowledge, knows exactly what chain they are going to. I just know they're working on that, and that then they'll be able to be listed on some big exchanges, which will really help out. So we have them revenue positive. In the coming months, they will fix the problem to allow them to be on big exchanges. Well, that's good. They just landed the Marvel license. Yeah, they have a lot going on that's really exciting, and that's why they were my number one pick. Now, unfortunately, it's pumped a whole tenth of a cent, which means it almost doubled since yesterday. So do I hope it'll come down from here? Yes, and it probably will. In all likelihood, it will. But who knows? So I'll be waiting for a good pickup right back at the price I was happy with or somewhere around there. If it comes anywhere near like 0.17 cents, I'm very happy. I bought at all the other points, and I will be adding to my position there. So let's get on to pick number 2, and that is Wanchain. Now, you might have caught my interview with the CEO of Wanchain, Jack Liu. Brilliant guy, engineer, team of great engineers, and their technology is top-notch. So why does their price not necessarily reflect their technology? Well, they've had their heads down since 2017, building some of the best cross-chain compatibility and bridges across these chains of anything that's out there. Their technology is top-notch. They have trustless cross-chain bridges. Now, trustless, why is trustless a big deal? Because there are some other cross-chain bridges, but they are trusted bridges. In other words, say you bring your Ethereum over to one of these other chains. You have to trust that a neutral third party that you hope is neutral will keep your Ethereum safe as you then wrap it onto that blockchain, and that they won't then, I guess, go spend your Ethereum, or you send Bitcoin there. And so what they're really doing is they're holding your Bitcoin or your Ethereum on their node, and then they're giving you a wrapped version of that. And what you're hoping is when you go to unwrap it and get your original token back, that it's still there, and you're trusting or hoping that it is. And that's what a trusted service is. Now, some of these probably will end up fine, but would you agree that trustless is always better than trusted? So what makes a system trustless? Well, it's set up in such a way so that if you steal, say somebody was running a node and they steal $1 million worth of Bitcoin, they would lose $2 million, meaning what they could gain versus what they would lose doesn't make sense, because what they would lose exceeds what they could gain by stealing or acting as a bad actor. It's exactly what makes Bitcoin's mining trustless, is that the cost it would take for somebody to hack Bitcoin far exceeds the value they'd be able to get from it. And so that's why Bitcoin's network is a trustless system as far as the mining part of it. So I like their technology. So where's their market cap? Under $100 million. Who is maybe something that's comparable to them? I would have to say the most comparable project out there is Polygon, and Polygon uses a trusted system, but look at its market cap, $7.5 billion. And where was it recently? It was recently as high as $2.50, and so that would put its market cap at $15 billion. Now, what's interesting is they don't have a trustless system. They have done great marketing. Their technology's pretty good, but in many ways, Wanchain's technology, as far as the actual mechanisms of transacting on it, are similar to what Matic has, except Wanchain also has all these trustless bridges. So perhaps there's something I'm missing about Polygon or Matic, but it seems to me, from what I understand, that Wanchain's technology is superior, because in many functions it's like Matic that way, but then it has all these trustless bridges. So you can bridge Litecoin in a trustless way over to Wanchain. You can bridge Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and they're continuing to add more bridges from all the different networks. So they're working on Polkadot. Can you imagine if they did Polkadot and Cardano? I mean, what they can do is amazing. So one of the good things that Polygon has done is they have quick swap on Polygon. So it makes it easy to swap between different tokens that are on top of the chain. Well, Wanchain also has a version of that run by some of the devs that helped build Wanchain, built WanSwap, and you can swap from WAN to WAN Doge, WAN EOS, WAN Ethereum, WAN Chainlink, WAN Maker, WAN BTC, WAN Ocean, WAN Sushi. I mean, look at this. Because essentially they can set it up so that you could bring over any ERC20 token. And so you could swap between Wanchain to any of these tokens. And pretty soon, Litecoin will be in here. And then they'll add Polkadot and many other things so that you can bridge your Polkadot over to the Wanchain ecosystem. Now, WanSwap itself functions a lot like Uniswap, and it does have a reward token. So if you provide liquidity, you can say provide liquidity here. You can pool, let's say, WAN and WASP, and you can pool, add liquidity to these, and then supply it, and then you could take it over to their companion site. So you add liquidity, bring it over to the companion site Zookeeper, which you can then add it over to here and add that liquidity. And if you do that, you will get rewarded in ZOO tokens and WASP tokens. So you can see I'm providing liquidity here, and here's my rewards that continue to go up. And I love this because I come harvest every single day here. In fact, multiple times a day, because look how cheap these transactions are. It's really amazing. So if this were one, that would be 1 cent. So it's not even like a tenth of 1 cent. It's close to a tenth of 1 cent. And so I'm going to confirm there. Transactions handle pretty quick. And then bam, it's then harvesting them. It's adding to my in-wallet balance here. What also is cool is you can get some NFTs, and the way you get them is, notice one of the reward tokens is ZOO. You can come over to Expedition and you can spend 14,000 to buy a gold chest. You can also spend 1,400 to buy a silver chest. Now there is a mechanism that changes the prices of these. Basically every hour, I think, if one sells, then the price gets bumped up. Any hour that doesn't sell, the price ticks down, so that the price of these chests fluctuate. And the silver chest is 1/10 the price of a gold chest. Now, if you buy one of these, it actually burns your tokens. Or you can come over to here and you can stake, say, 7,000 ZOO tokens for 30 days, and you will get a gold chest. You can stake 14,000 for 15 days, and you will get a gold chest. Or you could stake 140,000 ZOO for 2 days and get a gold chest. Now, you can see some of these NFTs here on the market, and these I have set to organize by the boost reward. So the highest boost reward on the market today is 77%, and it's for sale for 15,000. Now, I will tell you, I did get an NFT as about 3 weeks ago out of one of these that I was able to sell for 19,000 WAN USDT. So in other words, a Wanchain wrapped USDT. So essentially it was worth $19,000 is what I sold it for. And that came out of one of these gold chests, which was tremendous. So it's really cool all that they have set up on top of this. And I feel like their price, even before this pullback, and it was higher than it is today, it did go all the way up to about $2.50. So it's down 80% from them. But even at $2.50, I felt like it was severely undervalued. So I wanted to spend some time today talking more in depth about these two projects so you could understand what I like so much about them. Now, whether you like them or not, that's up to you. If you haven't followed me before, I've been in this space for 4 years, and I made some early mistakes. I do have like 20 plus years investing background, but when I came over this space, I thought that the rules of investing didn't necessarily apply the same. And I made some mistakes before learning some very valuable lessons. Now, I like to think I made those mistakes and learned from them very fast, and I didn't have to make very many of them, but I did get wrecked because I didn't take profits during the run-up in 2017. I was blessed enough to get in late October and still made 10x returns, only to watch those returns completely evaporate in the bear market. And so I didn't go anywhere, though. I stuck around during the bear market because I like to buy low and sell high. And so when everything was hugely on sale, I was buying like crazy. And when everything goes way, way up, I tend to sell and take profits. And so I stuck around during the bear market, and this cycle has created life-changing wealth for me. And here's the deal. You might not make life-changing wealth in your very first cycle in crypto, but isn't life-changing wealth why you're really here? So why not make the commitment to be here for 5 years, be here this cycle, as well as be here during the bull or bear market so that you can make some really good pickups. Hopefully this cycle you learn to take profits, which I will be covering a lot more as I feel like it's more relevant. And then that way you can buy more cheap. And then the following cycle and big run up. Now, what life-changing wealth is to everybody is different. So imagine, though, you had, say, $1 million in US dollars, and you had that staked and were earning 10% returns on that. Well, that would be $100,000 a year. So you make $1 million after taxes, because you always got to pay the tax man. They will find you. Then you stake, say that million in USDT, and there's a way to get 10% on that, that's 100,000 passive income. Now, is that life-changing money? Because for many, that is. Now, for some of you, you have higher financial needs, and I get that too. For me, that's not necessarily life-changing money. That's nice money. Life-changing wealth for me is a higher number than that. And so, I mean, why not stick around for 5 years, commit to yourself for 5 years? If this is the kind of content you're looking to get investor perspective that'll just shoot it real with you, well, that's what I have to offer. Now, if you're looking for me to cover the same project over and over and over again, that's not what I do. Like, Cardano is my largest holding. I don't cover Cardano every day, even though I love it. Ecomi isn't my largest holding, or my second. Wanchain actually is. But I won't cover Wanchain every single day either, because I'm an investor. I'm always looking for what is on sale so that I can get the most returns for what I'm buying. And I usually take profits on what's way up. And then I'm looking for what's cheaper, right? Because for me, it's about return on investment. Now, I do know that there's some highly speculative stuff, and crypto is speculative enough, but I don't get into Dogecoin. I don't get into Shibu. I don't get into those kind of tokens because I tried that in 2017, the extremely high risk, potential for extremely high returns, and I felt like I did a lot worse, even though one did pretty well and one did okay, and about 8 of them did nothing. I just could have done so much better in just investing in projects with better fundamentals. So I'm a fundamentals guy with some technical analysis, and I invest in projects that I think will have at least a strong run this year and have potential for a long term, though I'm not going to be holding most of my altcoins for the long term. That's the kind of content you're looking for. Also join us in the Discord. We have a Discord set up, a Telegram set up below. We are working on a Discord and some other things. And so if you are looking to make life-changing wealth and continue the dialogue, join us. We would love to hear from you. Love to hear from you in the comments. For you, what is life-changing wealth per month? Think about it that way. What kind of income passively would change your life? Because then it's easier to figure out what kind of money you need to make that then you could put into something that can provide that kind of money passively. But the first number you need to know is how much monthly do you need that would come in that would pay all your bills plus give you enough spending money to change your life. Love to hear that. All right, guys. I've got a song for you from one of our rainmakers who did this for all you rainmakers. And rainmakers are those making the commitment to be here 5 years and also support my channel by liking and watching the videos and helping this grow so that we can reach more people. Thanks so much.
Success is falling, flowing like rain. The timing's right, we're getting